The Siouxland Chamber of Commerce held their annual chamber dinner tonight. The dinner is a chance to reflect on some of the great accomplishments throughout Siouxland in the past year. This year's keynote speaker was Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann, a former U.S. Army Green Beret who has spent his time out of service advocating in Congress and on media outlets for the safe return of Afghan allies.
It was not exactly the #1 draft pick for hostage rescue, but it was one of those things, I think, for any of us when your friends are in trouble and there's no option available to them. It was just hard to think of my friends being executed, and I think my teammates felt the same way.
During his keynote presentation tonight, he addressed the crowd of more than 1,000 people about his journey and how he still continues to do his part to help soldiers. Also at tonight's dinner, the Chamber awarded its annual W. Edwards Deming Business Leadership and Entrepreneurial Excellence Award to Skip Purley, the CEO of Thompson Solution Group. In receiving the award, Purley was praised for his decades of business and not-for-profit leadership within the Siouxland community, including with the Chamber and the Boys and Girls Home and Family Services.